Hey, model railroaders, it's time for an update and a mail call. So we're going to do a little bit of an update on the crane, but first we're going to go through the mail call. I'll show you what's going on with these first. So the first thing that I wanted to say, as I said in one of the videos not too long ago, I actually collect a lot of cars and trucks and all that. So I took a chance and I decided to go on the internet and buy some cars. Now, one of the things is I am going to have an auto rack terminal, which is going to be kind of cool. So this is that 100, this is a buy from eBay where you can get 150 cars or something like that for like $16, just a ridiculous price. Okay, the cool thing is, let's look at one of these. It looks pretty nice. It's got a very glossy black window, so you can't actually see. They are hollow, which makes it kind of neat. The wheels don't move, but I mean, they did a nice job painting it up, making it look like it doesn't have a lot of detail, but it does have the door, the doorknobs, kind of a side window, license plate, um, the back, third eye light. Some of them have, a lot of them have moon roofs on them and all that. The front's fairly undetailed and all that kind of stuff. But again, these are meant to be little cars. Now, the question is, when I got them, is what size are they? Okay, so this is a Bush Ford Mustang. This is a Bush, I think it's the Ford Taurus. Let me see which one this is. Oh, sorry, this is the Atlas Chevy. And then this is also another Bush minivan. So if you look at them, so these are all 187th, these cars for sure. Okay, these last three. So if you look at the larger US vehicle compared to this little blue guy, there's a difference. Okay, obviously it's a bit smaller. Okay, when you compare it to the Mustang, still a little bit off. Right now, this is the 65 Mustang, so they were a little bit bigger. As compared to the coupe and all that kind of stuff. And then you bring in the minivan, you look at the Dodge minivan as compared to the full-size car. It's not that bad. So what I'm saying is this is not bad for having cars that are not going to be right up front, that are kind of in the background that you want as a parking lot. Okay, so now mind you, for the price, when you stick all these cars together and all that kind of stuff, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of these cars. So there's like 150 cars in here and all that kind of stuff, and I think it cost me $16. So if you are going to do an intermodal, I mean, not an intermodal, if you're going to do an auto setup and you need a bunch of cars, or if you're doing even like a Lowe's or a Home Depot or something like that, and you want a ton of cars, really, really exceptional price on those. Again, they're not the greatest detail. For those of you who aren't car rivet counters, these cars actually look pretty good. So I would say that they're probably 1/90th scale, maybe 1/100th scale, but overall a really good price. Another thing that I found on the web are these things called 4D puzzle models. This again, I think was $16 or $18. I forget what it was. but they're from China, and I don't know if you guys can see, but they've got all kinds of different cars. Now, granted, you don't need your Lamborghinis all the times, but they do have some minis, some regular sedans. A lot of them are Mercedes Benzes and Audis and all that kind of stuff, but they have decent sized vans. So the only problem is um, some of the cars you can tell, like this, a Mercedes SL 600L, that's fine. I understand what that car is. And the BMW 745i, okay? So yeah, you're going to have some cars that are a little higher price, but um, the Mito GTA, I'm not sure who that is. Uh, and then this is actually a 300ZX, if I remember right. I think I saw that someplace. One of the cars is a 300ZX. It might not be this one. But the cool thing about these, they actually are 1/87th scale. So let's take out the minivan, for example. Now these are kits. They're meant to be little kits, so you can paint them up any color you want to. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, you get 16 vehicles. Okay, so for those people who want to populate, again, these were very inexpensive. And if you look at this one, this minivan as compared to this minivan, they are very much 1/87th scale. So if you go online and you see this package, because there's a lot of them out there right now, um, they've got a nice little detailed interior. They've all, I mean, look at the interior of this. Let's see if you guys can see this. All right, I'll take it out of the box. So it doesn't have a motor. It's got all the wheels and glasses and all that, but the detail on the interior is pretty nice. I mean, the seats are covered up. It's got top vents, steering wheel. You can throw people in the seats and all that kind of stuff. It even kind of has the seat belts on it. And if you look at the center, see if we can see the center there. It has the cup holders in the center and all that kind of stuff. So they're fairly nicely detailed models. Again, these are fairly inexpensive. The only problem is you got to put them together and you need to paint them. They all come in, so this one comes in black. I think a lot of them came in a cream color that are just, nope, that one came in black too. A couple of the other ones that I did the other day weren't. So you can see this one as compared to the Chevy. They're about the same size, and this is a BMW 745i, so that's a pretty big car. So anyway, those are two kind of cheap ways to get some cars for your model railroad. Okay, I just thought I'd show you those. And again, this was under, for the 16, which these are a little bit more forefront vehicles, and the 150, I think I was less than 50 bucks. That's a lot of vehicles for a model railroad set. Another eBay find that I got, a guy was actually selling his unused portion of his cornerstone security details. It's kind of cool. I got the fence gate, which I'm going to need, another fence section. But what's really cool is it's got these lights that are here. These are meant to be security bumps, I think. They might be some of the security bumps. They're speed bumps, okay? They've got the little dividers at it. But the other cool thing that they have, and I don't know if you guys can see them very well, right here, they have security cameras. So these are really kind of great details that you can put up on some different things. They also have a light bar someplace. Oh, the stop-go lights for when you're entering into places, and some other bars and little the 360-degree cameras that you can put up. So that was kind of cool, because along with that, I also got the end track bumpers from, so there's a pack of 12 end track bumpers, which I could probably use. Everybody could use some bumpers. That was like $5. And I also got a retaining wall that came with it as well. The other thing that I got the other day, I was telling Vinny that now I can actually start my project of striping my, I got the actual road marking machine, which actually it came out to be pretty cool. When you look at it, it comes with a little machine, it comes with the guy, it's a barrel, it has some ramps to get the thing on and off, some miscellaneous buckets. I don't know if you guys can see those. Some miscellaneous buckets there, some 5-gallon paint, not paint cans, but jerry cans, and then another box. So this guy is actually moving the striper. Now the one thing that I noticed is it didn't come with the hose that it shows in the picture where, the guy could take it off and just spray it. So this will be kind of fun. I can use this as a stripe, putting together the striping project and all that. And I got that at a pretty good price. I think it was actually less than its normal retail of like $35. It was only like 15 or 20. Yeah, so I have to be really careful with what I can buy and what I can spend because the wife is currently unemployed. So I have to watch what I'm doing. Another cool thing is I went to a store and I'm going to do a little video on it. I'll get some still pictures of it and all that kind of stuff. It's an actual electronics store that's in the Seattle area. So I got this neat little ruler. It's a millimeter ruler on the one side, but the cool thing about it is it actually has hole sizes for your hole studs or whatever and all that. So I thought that was kind of cool because then I could figure out what size holes I want to put or can actually mark those hole sizes when I want to go to cut. So that was kind of cool. It's for drill gauges to be able to do your drill holes. So that was kind of neat. But the other thing that was cool was since and this got to do with the crane project, right? So I told you guys I had some problems with the crane lights. Some of them didn't work. So I wound up getting a bunch of new pico lights. Now the cool thing about the pico lights, I don't know if you guys can even see those, but they're a lot smaller than the lights that were in there. So I actually went down in a scale of lights because the lights that were in there were this size. So I chose to not put those in and went with the pico lights. And they fit in there like you would not believe. So let's just look at that real quick. So if you guys remember on the last video, the lights were kind of hanging out and they were outside a lot more. These are not. These fit inside of those areas very, very well. So I was able to put those lights in when I got them in. And I replaced the pico lights with the other lights. Or the other ones were nanos, and so these are picos. So you can see that they're much, much smaller, and they present a better profile on the lights than the other ones. This light's still the same. The other thing that I was able to do, which was kind of a bear, I put in the red lights that go in the back. Okay, so in there, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but I actually had to glue the light posts down because these are actually going in from the back. These were put in through the front. These I actually stuck in through the back so that there's red lights back there. So I did test all of the lights. They all work. That was another thing that I bought was I bought this neat little coin holder for 3-volt batteries. Now, good thing about 3-volt batteries is when you're using LEDs, you do not need to step down the transformer or anything. That's exactly the size that you're supposed to get. Now, I've got a little tool that I'm going to use to make this work a little bit better. And I'm going to go ahead and install that right now, and I will be right back. So I wanted to break here for a minute to say that I luckily have an electronics store in the Seattle area. It's called Vetco Electronics. If you guys pause here, you can read the neat little thing that they were. I mean, they started out as a tool business, and then the .com came to Bellevue, Washington, which is right across from Seattle. And so they started selling electronic parts, and then that kind of went away, and then they are now just this really big electronics store. They try to they carry everything. So this is kind of a list of the different things that they're carrying and things like that. The reason I'm doing this is because this place actually helped me with my crane. Because going online and looking at the connectors and different things and all that kind of stuff, you really don't know what size it is. So this store was probably the size of I didn't take any pictures inside, but it's about the size of a drugstore. And they had everything that you guys have listed here: Arduino stuff, connectors, Raspberry Pis, all the resistors, heat shrink, wires galore. I mean, they had 25-foot, 26 gauge wire for $5 in numerous colors. So it was really kind of cool. And they also have a website, which I'll go ahead and post in the comments or in the uh, information on this so that you guys can go see. They're one of the few stores, and this is like the only one that I know in the Pacific Northwest. All the other electronic stores are gone. So they really helped out a lot. So we're going to go ahead and finish off the video with the crane. So the nice thing is with that, I'm able to test these. So you can see here, I'm going to put it in really close. It's kind of hard for me to do because I'm looking at two things. So you can see the light lights up. So it's red now. Put it over here a little bit more where you can see it's darker. So it's a nice little test rig. But I went to an electronics store. We actually have an electronics store left. And I want to show you some of the things that I got, which is going to help me finish off this whole big mess of wires and stuff that I've got to put on there. You can see here that the red lights are different from the rest of the lights because they've got this little black thing in it, right? Because I was able to put it in the other way. All the other ones I had to cut off. But this little black thing holds the resistor as well as a diode. So you can see here that there's a black and a green, or there's a green and a red on this wire that goes to the actual diode or the LED. On this side, there's just two black lines. The cool thing about that is that means it doesn't matter what side that I hook this up to or whether it's AC or DC. This little box right here is going to regulate that power to make it into the power that the LED needs to light up with. So I need to do that on all of these other parts because that's what I got when I got my wires. So the only problem is I've got all these wires. So like I said, I was able to go to an electronics store to actually figure out what I wanted to get. So here are a few of the things that I was able to get from my electronics store. The reason I say, now you can get these on the web. However, if you are somebody who knows about electronics, you could easily buy these on the web. I don't know enough about electronics, but what's nice is that these are actually the JST micro connectors. So you can see here that that's a nice little tiny connector. So I'm going to be able to do the connection because I got both the male and the female ends from these wires into here. So the cool thing is the store, like I said, I'm going to show you a little, you should have already seen the thing, has these already set up. And they had them in 2, 3, 4, and 5 pins. I could have got them in 8 pins, but I didn't think I needed any more than that. And so now I can actually know what it is that I can get if I need to buy it off of Amazon or something like that, because you can never tell with the pictures of how big these things are. When I got the original ones from Micromark that I thought were micro connectors, those micro connectors are twice as large as this 5-pin connector, right? So that's not going to fit inside of all of that. So these are going to fit a lot better. So that was really nice. It was a great little buy. Now the problem is, as you can see, that they don't necessarily have all the right colors that I may want in that connection. So they also had a whole bunch of different 1/16 inch size shrink wrap that will go over all of those. So that's kind of where I'm at. I know it's kind of a little bit of an update and a mail call, but it was really important for me to get all of this electronic stuff that I needed to get so that I could finish off what I'm doing. So besides putting in those lights, I also put in the light. This is going to be tough to see because the sun's now coming up. Okay, let me see if I can get it. I also put in a working light at the very top of the boom. And then you can see all I did was string the wire all the way through the boom area. Let me get these out of the way so it'll focus closer to what I'm trying to show you guys. Okay, that's hard to see, but there is a wire in there. Now I did have to drill a hole in that center section right there and to put the wire through, and then we just brought it all the way down and then again had to drill a section there. Okay, and then so these are going to be able to go in this little area that I've drilled right there, hopefully, because it's going to have to come up and over those as this sits down in this area. Either that or else it's going to go underneath and squeeze in on the other side of the frame. Squeeze in on the other side of the frame there. Okay, this actually hooks on the black frame. So that's kind of a little quick update and mail call. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you do, and I will have a better update, and I might even actually show you guys how I actually solder these things in to get all these wires hooked up correctly. All right, thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like this. Tell your friends, and keep on modeling. Oh, I forgot one other thing beforehand. Right now, this is kind of a pain in the neck, and I tried to do this really quick because this has got bare wires, so I actually have to hold the wires together to get this stuff on. The other thing that I got there was these micro clamps. And if you take it apart, all you have to do is come in here, solder one of those wires to there. So I'm going to have my own little test connector. And it's going to be kind of cool. Okay. So we'll be using that in the future, and I'll show you how I put that together too. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. And again, subscribe, like, and leave comments down below.